For those who are unaware, Anthony Fantano is a music reviewer here on YouTube. He's been doing it for quite a while, since like the late 2000s. I believe before that he was doing radio like through like his college and stuff. That's how I got into it. Then he created the channel The Needle Drop, and has been doing music reviews for a long period of time, and has gained quite a lot of traction and notoriety from his poor reviews or negative reviews towards some people's beloved albums over the years. And he also has another channel called just Fantano, where he does like some of his side things away from his like main reviews. He'll just talk about various music topics, music drama, does some like lists, try to talk about things to get into certain genres and such. But I wanted to talk about my journey of like finding him and his impact on me, and how I've kind of gotten out of watching him as much to this day, and why I feel that way. But I stumbled across him. I've been on YouTube, like been interested in YouTube for a long time. I was kind of into with the first wave of YouTube back in like the mid to late 2000s, and then like I was kind of not too that into it like through like my high school years, which is kind of like 2012 through like 2015, and I kind of got back on it a decent amount like after the end of high school, and into like throughout the rest of like the 2010s and into the 2020s, especially really big YouTube. I was really into YouTube, and it was like my main. I didn't really care to watch much TV or anything. I mostly got like a lot of entertainment from watching YouTube and following certain YouTubers that were aligned with a lot of certain topics that I was interested in. But I stumbled across Anthony Fantano, I think the first time probably around like, I'd say maybe I probably saw him here and there like throughout the 2010s, like 2016, 2017, but I really got interested in him and started seeing some of his stuff in like 2018, I believe. And I remember one specific video I watched was when he did a classic review of Nirvana's In Utero. That was a band I was really obsessed with in high school, and just wanted to see his like take on that. And I remember at that time I didn't have like as big of a music knowledge. I'd always been such a big music fan and just loved listening to music so much, and I've always been really interested in a lot of music, but I didn't have too much like technical talk and like dissecting the music very much. I wasn't very confident in that, and so like listening to his videos at first I was like, I couldn't really like grasp everything completely, I guess, and because I just wasn't as familiar with music that much. I just kind of like I listened to it and I like it. That's kind of what it is. Didn't really dissect it too much more than that, and wasn't confident enough to like dissect something like that. But as my knowledge got more intense with music, and especially music that I really gravitated towards, and honestly with some help of just like watching his videos to an extent, helped me gain more of a knowledge in like terms and such, and just like breaking down the production and comparing things to other things. Just my vast knowledge of like listening to tons of music, especially like after high school, like I really got into intensely, and just really 2018 was a big time for me to get into certain things that I'd never really dabbled in before, and I had a lot of time on my hands, and I just wanted to dig deep and find a lot of things. And then just like as time has gone on and where I am now, my evolution has just been like, now I can compare things to other sounds. Like this sounds like this band, this kind of sound came from this, and like kind of like seeing those connections. But at that time I really wasn't at that level yet. And but one thing that really intrigued me about him was when I started like seeing that like, oh, he's like notorious for giving like bad reviews to these like modern rap artists and stuff, and I was like really in the bandwagon of like, oh, modern rap music and trap just sucks, it's bad music, it's not good. And I've opened my mind to that a lot in recent years, just because like it's fun. There's some stuff I really like that's like really just catchy and fun and goofy. But I can understand the aspect of like why people would critique it and think it's not like well art craftsmanship or whatever. Um, but I guess like I started digging like into Anthony Fantano. It was like he gave these bad reviews, and it seemed like it was hard to like impress him with music. And I was very intrigued. Like, what does he think is actually really good? And so I found this. I found his list like on his website of like all the nines he's given, all the eights he's given, on the tens, like this very super small handful of tens at that, especially at that time. And I was just very intrigued. I was like, why? Why does he think this is so good? What's so good about this? It must be like really good if he thinks it's good. And I got into just like I found like Death Grips, and I found like Billy Woods, and like Zuzu and The Knife, like all these like wonky like experimental like electronic based rap mix in there, and alternative like experimental shit. And I've been somewhat into that too. Is like I've been intrigued by like experimental kind of sounds of music and noisy shit. And I found like Swans too, and through him because he had given that like album a 10. And a lot of this stuff just like really intrigued me. I'd never heard anything like that before, and I was like really close-minded to like modern music in that time. I guess like in that in between, like I was listening to a lot of like modern rap music in high school, but that was like kind of my extent. I was no way I would have found like the like more underground weird stuff. I wasn't really looking for that. Um, and then like after high school, it's like, oh, everything like modern is kind of trash actually, so I'm not going to really look into anything, and I mostly just listen to old stuff. And like dug into like older stuff, but I think it was a great time for me to do that, and like I don't regret that at all. But that was like 2018 is really sort of opened my mind more, and like finding his channel and like seeing that there actually was some like really interesting and cool stuff out there, and like really captured me. And I was just like really intrigued by this music I'd never really heard before. And then like um, me having autism, I just my biggest special interest is music, and especially extreme metal and metal music, and just like weirdo electronic, like strange, like sounds that just make me feel crazy, I guess. Um, and I just like have always like looked up to people that are like have knowledge of cool music, that have shown me music that like really intrigues me and makes me feel some way, and just like it's like always really fascinated me so much, and it's like something that's always had a pull, like, oh, I want to dig into this, I want to hear this, I want to listen to it, it sounds so cool. And so I kind of like, of course, fell into that bandwagon with Fantano. When I found it, I was like, oh, this guy's like a god, like he's a music god, like he knows all these amazing things, like. And I've just like had like so low self-esteem a lot of my life as well too, so I'm just like, oh, never be like this guy, I could never make YouTube videos, and I could never review an album, I could never get so in depth and with that. And I don't really review albums on my channel or anything, but I feel like I'm more confident now that I will probably be able to somewhat review an album, but it's not really something I'm like going for at this time. It might be in the future, but that was just like I just like really looked up to him, and just like, oh, like he knows what he's talking about, he knows all these things about music, he's like really knowledgeable, and he knows what makes good music, what makes good art. And so I was just like very intrigued by that, and like that kind of got me into like the like take his word by like law kind of. I wasn't listening to like exclusively stuff from like that he like approved of. I was still listening kind of my own stuff, but a lot of the time I was listening to a lot of stuff that he was rating higher at that time. And like I would be like think a little bit more negatively about the things that he'd rated low, and like wouldn't go back to them as much. I feel like, oh, it's not good music, why would I waste my time with not good music, with bad music? But and that like kept going on. Like I got like really like even more intense into him in like 2021, I believe, when like I found like started going through like his classics backlog, and like found some cool shit in the classics, and like was really intrigued by a lot of those albums, and like what makes them good. And and like they must be really good, and like it helped me find some like stuff that I hadn't really dabbled in before. And it really was a big time for me in like music discovery. Like 2018 through like 2021, 2022 was like a huge music, probably the peak music discovery of my entire life. Like found some like insane things I had never heard of before, and like really dabbled and dug deep in some things. Um, and I'm grateful for that time, and grateful for like the like structure that gave me, and like this like foundation that I really wanted to. So just getting more into music, I just like I feel like a lot of the people that I was like in high school with, like we were like kind of would bond over music and stuff, and those people just kind of got out of music, didn't really listen to it anymore, and then I was just getting deeper and more intensely into it after high school. And but he was a great like resource for me in that regard, and finding some of this music and being more open-minded to it. But became a fanboy. I became just like his word is law. Like if he says this album's bad, then I can't listen to it. There's no point in listening to it. And got really closed-minded in that regard. And I wouldn't say I regret it. Like it was just a time that like I felt that way. But like, and I wouldn't be like thinking about how I feel now. Like I wouldn't have grown from it. And like, I guess I've just like gotten out of that. Like I said, like music is subjective. Like the way like music's going to affect people in different ways, and I've just like found myself disagreeing more and more with him in recent years, as getting more of my knowledge of my music, and just like realizing what stuff I really like, what sounds I like. And just because he gave it a negative review and he doesn't like it doesn't mean I can't like it, and doesn't mean it's bad music. I mean, I still agree with a lot of points he says on things, but at the same time, it's just like, if I enjoy it, I enjoy it. So it's like I've made kind of a full like circle there. Like I listen to music because I like the way it sounds, and I like the artwork that goes along with it. I don't care if it's like taking it up to the next level, like has to be experimental, like changing, taking. I admire that in music and artistry, and like taking it up to the next level. But at the same time, like if it's creating a similar sound to something I already like, I'm gonna have a soft spot for that, and I'm gonna love it regardless. So like, I just like thinking about that, and just like the growth from that. And I just really don't watch his, like I'm still subscribed to him on YouTube, both of his channels actually, but I rarely watch his videos anymore. And I could really care less about his like music drama and stuff that he does. And I know he's got to make a living, man, and he's making I'm good living, I'm sure. And I'm jealous of that. Like it's nice, it'd be nice to make a living doing off of something you love to do, but at the same time, like I can't have that level of fakeness to me. I just don't like, I don't admire being fake. Not that he's like an openly like super fake person, but he has to play the game to an extent. I mean, he's got millions of subscribers. Like you have to play the game to an extent to do that. I'm never gonna have that. Like that's not something I'm going for. That's not like a way I'm ever gonna carry myself. And I just don't value that in that regard. But sure, I could still like have some jealousy. It would be nice to have like a little bit of a following. I mean, it'd be nice to have like a little bit of a community to be here on YouTube, like to connect with. And that's what I'm going for, like more of an underground kind of thing, like the music I like. And at the same time too, like you look on his like channel and look at the comments, they're all just like, it's all just a meme, and just like a lot of the stuff is just meme. It's just like like trying to be funny and shit, and like nothing's really taken that seriously. Like a lot of people don't even watch the video, I'm sure, and they just try to make these like, oh, who can, it's like a competition in the comments, like who can get the top upvoted comment to make some like silly stupid remark about whatever, like his melon head or whatever the fuck. And I just like, I don't really admire that very much. It's just like I don't really like meme culture and like Reddit people and shit for the most part. I like real shit. I like actually like I don't, I mean, it's cool to fucking mess around sometimes and have fun and be goofy and shit. Like I love being fucking goofy and fun, but it's just like, it's kind of like to like a cringe level in that regard. And that's another thing with like Death Grips, and that's like the Death Grips fans, and I feel like they like overlap a lot with like the Fantano commenters and meme like trolls and shit. Like they just like somewhat kind of ruin that shit for me to an extent. Like it's just like so cringy to me, and like the people acting the way that they do. And I just wish I wouldn't have found some of these things. I wish I wouldn't have read the comments. I wish I wouldn't have gotten on like the Death Grip subreddit or whatever, and just like know all the stigma goes along with it. So like enjoy the music, but at the same time it's hard for me to like express that I like it, or want to talk about it, because it's just all these people are just like doing what the fuck they're doing, and just I don't know. But like I said, I don't really. I still like. I've still like. There's an album this year that I really like that I actually found because of Anthony Fantano on his channel. It's like pretty high on like probably my year-end list this year. But in the grand scheme of things, I just don't really care that much about a lot of stuff he's reviewing anymore. Obviously, like I said, he has to make a living, so he's gonna make like. I like that he still puts some like more like underground weird shit in there, but he's also gonna have to prioritize these bigger artists and appeal to these certain niches. And I wish he would review more metal music. I love metal music, and well, that's just like never gonna be a thing. And like I respect a lot of the stuff that he has done within metal music. He's like definitely. It's cool that he's like still implemented that, and he still has like such a wide array of like genres that he implements. But I'm just like more of like a metalhead kind of person. I really love metal music, and I want to learn more about metal music, and I'm still really open to the other stuff too. But he seems to be more focused on the popular indie kind of shit, and that's just not something that I really have been gravitating more towards. And that's just kind of my thoughts on that. And I just have gotten out of being like a Fantano fanboy. Like I just have grown and figured out what I love, and I'm just gonna go keep pursuing the things that I love. And I still value his opinion on certain things, and but I just don't care anywhere nearly as much as I used to. And he can't really skew like my thoughts on anything too much anymore. Like I'm still trying to be open-minded. Like him, like say I really like an album and then he reviews it and gives it a bad review, I'm gonna listen to what he says and like oh yeah, I guess I can see that, but it's not gonna make me dislike the album. And that was a big thing. It was a big growth with me, like even just last year when Playboi Carti released his music album, and Fantano gave a really low score, as I was planning on him doing that, but I fucking love that album, bro. Shit is so fun and goofy, and I just love Playboi Carti's music. And then like how just like a lot of just like modern metal stuff that he's like reviewed, like when you reviewed the second like Pissgrave album, and like in like a short or something, and you said, oh, it's just the same shit, like okay, but it still fucking sounds awesome. It's still a fucking cool sound. Like I just don't know how you can like go like it's just the thing, like you like if an artist doesn't like keeps doing their same sound, they don't grow in some way, then they're shit and they're not a good artist. And like I just don't like that aspect, I guess. Well, that might be like the cult metal person in me, but anyways, that's my thoughts. That's my recovery story of being a Fantano head. And but hope you guys liked the video. Give me a comment down below. Comment down below if you've had any experiences with Fantano or any other YouTuber or some other person that you've looked up into your life and you've kind of grown out of it and realized that you value yourself more, I guess, value your opinion more. So thanks for watching. See you guys later.